One thing that people know about me on this channel, so shout out to the AFC. Y'all know I am a big person that I don't believe in spanking, hitting kids. I don't believe in physical discipline, punishment of any kids whatsoever. I'm in the black community, come from the black community. I come from the South, raised in the South. That is literally how generations of my family have been raised to think that corporal punishment is normal behavior. So as I evolved in my thinking and my understanding, and even raising my kid is about to be grown this year, technically grown. So I can happily say I don't spank my kid and I have never spanked my kid. And I'm proud of that as a father and watching how she behaves and the woman that she is becoming. And parenting is about parenting from the mind, not from physical, right? Because it is lazy parenting, in my opinion, if you're going to be physical with your kids. Like, it just means you don't want to do the mental work that it takes to actually raise your kids. But nonetheless, we're going to get into the story. Let me give you a disclaimer, then we're going to go. Some viewers may find the following content offensive and controversial. The information in this video comes from multiple sources, including court records, official police charges, news web articles, and interviews. This video commentary also contains my personal opinions about the facts of this story. The point is to use this story as a cautionary tale in hopes of preventing tragedies like these to children going forward. Viewer discretion is advised. That is your official disclaimer. And I'm getting this story from a website I've never used before, but I think they have a pretty comprehensive article here. It's kind of short, but it's from 1057thehawk.com. So shout out to them for this article. And somebody in the chat actually said something interesting. And you said you whooped your son's ASS. That's interesting that you use that choice of words because, of course, with me being in the black community, we talk with that vernacular quite a bit, right? That's pretty normal for us to hear that. So in this article is actually titled, New Jersey girl, 6 years old, this beautiful angel right here, died with teeth knocked out cuz, C-U-Z, cuz mommy whooped her ASS. So I want you to bookmark that in your mind while I read this story. A 6-year-old girl may have been beaten so brutally by her mother that her teeth were knocked out, her little brother told police. Police found, and so a little brother, that means a little brother would have to be 5, 4, or 3 years old if he's at talking age. Police found the lifeless body of the little girl in her Stratford Place home on South Broad Street neighborhood on March the 10th. And the little girl's name is Nehemiah Hall. Oh, no, that's Newark. Newark is where it was at. So Nehemiah Hall, that's Nehemiah right there. N-E-apostrophe-M-I-Y-A. Beautiful little angel. Her mother, her name is Zariah. I don't know how you get Zariah out of that, but I think that's her name. Z-Y-H-I-R-A-H-T Hall. Let me back that up so y'all can see it again. She's 26 years old, allegedly. Is now charged with child abuse, but not with killing her child, whose cause and manner of death have not been determined as of March the 20th. So hopefully we'll get more definitive information on that. So I'm pretty sure that they're going to see that this was trauma that caused her death. So there will probably end up being like an assault or murder charge, something like that. Anyway. But whatever charges prosecutors file against Hall, this case may become an indictment of the state's criminal justice and child welfare systems, which allowed Hall to continue living with her children even after she pled guilty to 9 counts of child abuse of 2 children and second-degree aggravated assault of one of them. Damn. Do y'all need me to read that again? And you're talking about too much leniency. If y'all remember the case that I just talked about recently about The mother who was contacting the children that she had abandoned, her name was Kelly Marie Bryant. She abandoned her 3 kids for 5 years, left them to die. And she was complaining about not being able to make phone calls, but she was actually trying to contact the father who was taking care of her kids that she abused. And she was contacting them and asking stuff probably related to the kids in her case. Direct violation. And the way I look at it is if you don't hold people accountable for the mistakes or for the horrible things that they do to kids, then I don't think they're going to learn anything. I think it emboldens them and I think it makes them worse. So let me say that again. This could be an indictment of the criminal justice system and child welfare systems. They allowed this mother to continue living with her children even after she pled guilty to 9 counts. Not 1 count, or 2, or 3, or 4, or 5, or 6, or 7, or 8. 9 counts of child abuse of 2 children and second-degree aggravated assault of one of them. And she still got to be a mother. Why? I don't understand how the F that makes any sense. How can you qualify that? This woman took the plea deal with Essex County prosecutors on March the 3rd. Less than a week later, little Namaya was dead. So it sounds like these charges were being held against her from the same kids that she pled guilty to abusing in the first place. And she got to keep them anyway. And now one of the kids is dead. And this is not a failure of the system. Oh, yes, it absolutely is. They had a chance to nip this in the bud when they found the abuse. And they said, you know what? We're going to let her keep the kids anyway. But it's so funny how a lot of men out there, shout out to my men and good fathers, not all, but a lot of good fathers out there that would have gladly have stepped up and taken custody of their kids and raised these kids so that they could grow up and become something great, including this angel. Namaya deserved every opportunity to grow up and become something great under somebody else's rules, under somebody else's house. But they said, screw all that. We'll make a man go through hell and high water, pay for high-ass attorneys, and go through family court just to not give him custody of his kid. When you have on record this woman being abusive, and you say, no, we's gonna let her keep the kids anyway, y'all. And now one of the girls is dead. One of the kids is dead. Absolute failure. And now, just weeks before she was scheduled to be sentenced for the abuse incidents that police said had occurred between September of 2021 and April of 2023, she is back in court under more disturbing circumstances. So the mother's long record of child abuse, let me say that again. It says, and this is not my words, this says her long record of child abuse complaints is being reported on for the first time after New Jersey 101.5 legally requested and examined public court documents. Knowing that Hall pled guilty to child abuse, why did court and state officials allow her to remain with her children? That's a question that remains without answer. The State Department of Children and Families, which runs the Child Protection and Permanency Agency, did not return New Jersey 101.5's request for information. Now, the mother, Hall, told police that on March the 10th, a Monday morning, her daughter woke up vomiting with stomach pain, according to a probable cause affidavit. How often have we heard that? They woke up and you didn't know what was going on. Hall, the mother, says she gave her daughter a graham cracker and assumed she was getting ready for school. The girl instead found 10 to 20 minutes on the couch unresponsive and was cold to the touch, according to court documents. So she gave her a graham cracker and she died. That's what the mother wants you to believe. Investigators later noticed that the girl, identified as Nemiah Hall by a GoFundMe campaign — we'll get back to that GoFundMe here in a minute. Anybody got a hashtag Babies for Benefits in the chat, please? They always play stupid. I agree. The state needs to be held accountable. I 100% agree. But nobody needs to get money from the state. I hate to see people sue the state and get money. These people need to be in prison. Whether it be the judge, whether it be Child Protective Services, whomever made the decision to let this woman keep this child and the other kid, and now this baby's dead. They need to be facing prison time. Not just somebody just be handed over some money, put in a foundation or some stupid crap like that. Somebody need to go to damn jail. They noticed that the girl had several missing teeth. When investigators asked the woman's 4-year-old son where his sister was, he told detectives, and the boy was 4 years old. He told detectives she was dead in the hospital because mommy whooped her ass. And that's a 4-year-old boy talking like that. The beating caused her teeth to fall out, the little boy said. The boy also had a black eye and visible injuries on his back and marks on his back. How many people still believe in spanking, whooping their kids? Anybody out there in the chat? It's okay to admit it. I'm just encouraging you guys to find a better way and stop being physical with your children, period. There's no need for it. Spanking, hitting, or being physical with your kids is just lazy parenting. It means you don't want to use your mind to learn how to be a parent. That's just the truth about it. Okay? I'm telling y'all that out of love. Out of love from my heart to yours. Please hear me on that, okay? Now let's keep going with the story. During a second interview with police, the mother Hall admitted hitting her daughter with a belt on Friday, March the 7th, officials said. Zariah denied knowledge of the missing teeth. Well, we know that's bullshit. She says she whooped her with the belt on the butt and hit her in the back of the head. She also admitted to whipping her 2-year-old son the same day. So how many kids do she have? A 4-year-old, a 2-year-old, and a 6-year-old. How many kids do she have? It's hard to tell. Anyway, that's according to investigators and court documents. The girl's father, Tymeer Duncan, told CBS New York, and his name is Tymeer Duncan, spelled traditionally, said Hall, the mother, said their daughter choked on a graham cracker, but he was suspicious because there were too many scratches and bruises on her back. Duncan said that Hall lost custody of her children several years ago, but she got them back. Hashtag Babies for Benefits, which is an AFC hashtag. She don't love these kids. She didn't care about them. She only wanted the benefits that go along with having these kids, whether it be Section 8, food stamps, car vouchers, subsidize anything, whether it be to get more money on her taxes, I forget about that part, whether it be for child support, or whether it be attention from people or a man. All benefits to people like this who don't love kids. The GoFundMe campaign said that the girl's funeral will be on March the 28th, which is 5 days from now, depending on when you're watching this, but March 28th. This beautiful baby was placed back with her mother way too soon, and we feel just as guilty, fundraising organizer Alexis Duncan said on the page. No one could have possibly imagined that this would happen. We were all left questioning for answers and wishing it was something more we could have done. If you ask me, this just sounds like a failure on the system. The system definitely failed because they had an opportunity to not allow this to happen. And yeah, they gave our kids back and they shouldn't have. So somebody by the name of Alexis Duncan is asking for $20,000 in GoFundMe money. Y'all can go look this up for yourself. $20,000 for what? The burial is probably going to be covered by the state. That's the least that the state could do. So what do you need $20,000 for? They've already attained $10,636. Probably claiming us for a funeral, and that's bullshit. I don't know why we come up with all this money to bury kids, but we won't come up with no money when these kids are alive. It's ridiculous to me. But let me give you guys the fair usage.
Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107.
Shout out to Reach 3002, and I agree with you. You said with the charges she already had, how can they say they never thought that this would happen? I'm just dumbfounded that they would even say that. But nonetheless, y'all do me a favor and please hit that thumbs up and share this video. We need stories like this to go viral. So let me show you guys this news video. I think this is her in court, and then we'll move to 2 regular news videos. Here we go.
Mr. Prosecutor. Yes, Your Honor, with respect to this matter, the state is moving for non-DV detention. So you will be detained until March 14th, 2025. On March 14th, you will appear before Judge Callahan for your detention hearing. Judge Callahan will decide on the 14th, which is on Friday, whether you will be released or not. After that, your case will go before Judge Critchley on April 25th, 2025 at 9 a.m. Public Defender Eric has been assigned to represent you. You understand? Yes. You can leave the booth now, please.
To a developing story, the Essex County Prosecutor's Office tonight saying they are investigating the death of a 6-year-old child in Newark. Christine Sloan reports the girl's mother is now charged with endangering the welfare of a child.
Down the street from where the 6-year-old was found dead in Newark, balloons, candles, and stuffed animals placed at a memorial honoring the little girl.
She was a sweet little girl, very happy when she see you.
Family provided these pictures of the 6-year-old girl. They say they are now seeking answers. The Essex County Prosecutor's Office says on Monday, detectives responded to a call of a child who had died at this apartment complex on Stratford Place. The little girl's mother, Zariah Hall, is now facing charges of endangering the welfare of a child. Residents tell us off camera Hall has other children and that they had seen the 6-year-old with a bruise on her face in the past, but it's unclear if authorities were notified.
Yeah, I'm very shocked.
We were unable to find an attorney representing Hall. Newark's mayor releasing a statement saying, quote, every child in our city deserves safety, security, and an abundance of love and laughter. They deserve nurturing and nourishment, gentleness, and generosity. A woman who doesn't want to be identified saying she watched the 6-year-old months ago.
Namaya would smile. I never really seen her cry too much. She would smile. She had these deep dimples. I called her dimples. I'm gonna miss her. I'm gonna miss seeing her.
Hall has a detention hearing scheduled for Friday. The Essex County Prosecutor's Office says the cause and manner of the little girl's death is pending an autopsy. In Newark, Christine Sloan, CBS News, New York.
And a spokesperson for the New Jersey Department of Children and Families tells us that privacy laws prevent them from disclosing if a family has been involved in the child welfare system. Now an update on that heartbreaking investigation into the death of a 6-year-old in Newark. The little girl's mother has been charged with endangering the welfare of a child. And tonight, New Jersey reporter Christine Sloan spoke with the father and aunt of the little girl.
The devastated father of little Namiah Hall Duncan says he's in shock, wishing he had pushed to see his daughter more.
I fought myself a lot. Because I could have made her life better.
Outside his family's home, pictures of the 6-year-old and a memorial. The Essex County Prosecutor's Office says Namiah died on Monday. The little girl discovered in the Newark apartment she shared with her mom, Zariah Hall, who has been charged with endangering the welfare of a child. Duncan says he was told his daughter died after choking on a cracker, but doesn't believe it after seeing her in the hospital.
It was too many scratches, too many bruises.
Prosecutors say the cause and manner of Namiah's death is pending an autopsy. I asked Tamir Duncan what he wanted to say to his ex-girlfriend.
I mean, y'all hear how that doesn't make any sense. Let's back this up. I mean, I couldn't imagine somebody giving me this type of devastating news, telling me something this stupid, and you telling me, how did this little girl die?
Who has been charged with endangering the welfare of a child. Duncan says he was told his daughter died after choking on a cracker, but
a cracker did not cause this girl to die. Y'all catch that? A cracker did not cause this little girl to die. A nigger did. Her mother did.
doesn't believe it after seeing her in the hospital.
It was too
A cracker didn't do this. A nigger did.
many scratches, too many bruises.
Prosecutors say the cause and manner of Namiah's death is pending an autopsy. I asked Tamir Duncan what he wanted to say to his ex-girlfriend.
And you got the father right there. Like, why couldn't he get custody? That makes no sense. You clearly know who the father is. Why couldn't he have gotten custody? They were just hell-bent on giving this baby back. And I'm sorry, I know that might have been a little bit much for y'all. Sorry. But I got really a dark sense of humor. But anyway, you got the father right here. This woman had all these charges against her. Why couldn't this man get custody?
I don't even know what to say to that girl. I really don't.
Duncan's sister says Namiah and her siblings, including a 4-year-old believed to be Tamir's son, were taken away from Hall several years ago and lived with her for a short time before going back home.
They found her by herself in her mother's house.
What the fuck? Do y'all see what the look? I'm not trying to be a jerk too much. Look at what the hell she has on. What is that? Is that a blanket and a bonnet? Black people, come on, man. Why is she wearing this? You mean to tell me you couldn't tell these people to wait 2.5 minutes? You'll give them the best interview ever, but please let me go take my bonnet off and put on a bra and a shirt. A jacket? No, this MF will come out in a bedsheet poncho. I's got to do this interview, y'all. She coming out looking like she was literally in the movie 12 Years a Slave. This woman came out looking like that she was in Roots. Why did you wear that, ma'am? Did you just really want to just adhere to every black stereotype there ever was, right? I'm just assuming you had to have come out dressed like this on purpose. What was your purpose of wearing this? You're just like, you know what? She come out looking like, we shall overcome. Just why? Y'all make these stereotypes yourselves and get mad when people notice it.
A 4-year-old believed to be Tamir's son were taken away from Hall several years ago and lived.
You know what? Slavery is funny. Slavery is quite funny. I'm sorry, but we're a bunch of years removed from slavery. We can laugh about it now. We had about 113 movies about slavery. I think it's about time to laugh about it, okay? Just saying.
With her for a short time before going back home.
They found her by herself in her mother's house along with her siblings with injuries.
We were unable to reach Hall's attorney. A spokesperson for the New Jersey Department of Children and Families tells us privacy laws prevent them from disclosing if a family has been involved in the child welfare system.
I've prayed that she never sees the light of day again. Maya was the kindest. Her favorite thing was, you want to take a picture, or, you know, making TikToks and videos. I'm hurt. It's not anger. I wish the system could have did more. I wish we could have did more.
In Newark, Christine Sloan, CBS News, New York.
I'm just saying, man, we got to have some thick skin around here. At the end of the day, here's what I'm saying. The system absolutely failed in this situation. I would have to hear from the biological father. He would have to explain to me. He's already doing interviews, bro. If you want to email me, the afcmatters@gmail.com. I'd be happy to have you on, and you can explain to me, while knowing that this mother had these charges, why didn't you go get custody? Why didn't you file for custody? If you did, what happened? Why couldn't he get custody or somebody else? I'm assuming that somebody made an attempt. If nobody made an attempt and everybody knew that this abuse was going on, then I don't understand how the hell you would explain this woman getting these kids back. Even if nothing else, they would have gone into Child Protective Services, which I don't think is that much better to go into the system, but at least I believe they would have lived. I don't think they would have been beaten up, and I think they would have lived. They would have survived. That is my humble opinion. I know that the system sucks. The system is not meant to take on this overwhelming number of kids. But damn, I mean, we got to do something. It's just a safety net. But at the end of the day, y'all know where I always blame the problem. Where does the problem start? At the root. Biological mother, biological father. That's where the disconnect happens. That's where the failure happens. If you ask me, I think she needs a life sentence. I think she is the worst example of a mother, period. So I think she needs a life sentence. Y'all let me know what you think. I don't know why they got this GoFundMe up there. I'd love to see some people get mad about this $20,000 GoFundMe and flag that down and do some investigation or something. I'm not saying go flag it down. Don't do it. I'm just wondering why it ain't been done. But nonetheless, y'all, let me know what y'all think about the story. If we get any other updates, or if we can get the father on here to explain his position, why did he go make an attempt to go get custody, I'd love to have him on, and we'll do a part 2 to this, okay? So for now, to this princess, R.I.P. Beautiful little angel, Nemaya Hall Duncan. Beautiful little angel, okay? We'll see you guys on the next story, okay? Thank you.